Well, apparently I spent all last night charging this camera and looks like it doesn't have any energy on it. So I'm hoping this doesn't just, die in the middle of recording this. But um, given that my phone takes such a long time to upload and I could be getting a call at any moment, I really don't know if they'll even call me at this point if something happens to my dad. But I'm gonna have to record on here and hopefully I can get this all recorded beforehand, and if not, I'll have to march back to my room and grab my phone and try and make a recording on that. But anyways, as I've detailed in my last video, I got into a really bad argument with my sister, to be expected, because anytime I want to drop any cold hard truth on them, they'll do everything they can to turn it on and make it my fault, saying that since I didn't drop everything the moment this happened, and hop in my car and drive on down to where they're at, that it's my fault. Oh, they have to handle all this stuff. It's like, oh, so you're having to face the consequences of your own actions, and it's my fault because I didn't just drop everything and run off to save them. It's same old story. And I mean, honestly, like, even if I were to look at the logistics of it, I would let me see. I don't have the money. I would lose my job. It's the middle of the COVID pandemic still. Even though things are supposedly tapering off, but job wise, it's not easy to get a job in this day and age. Okay, and if I dropped everything, well, what would end up happening? So all this short term emotional thinking where they just want, you know, somebody to grab onto and just hold on to for dear life, and it doesn't matter, that their feelings are going to end up causing all sorts of problems. They don't think 6 months or a year into the future where, oh crap, he lost his job because of us, and we don't have any money, now we're going to be homeless. I mean, my sister was literally asking if I could help pay the mortgage if it came down to that. And I don't make enough to pay for a 320K, 400K, whatever, 400K, 450, whatever it is, exact amount at this point, mortgage. I don't. But see, I don't think about this kind of stuff until my dad's practically on his deathbed, and it's like, oh my God, all these problems. When they, oh my God, all the stuff they did. I mean, I even heard about my mom apparently about a year ago. Nobody told me about this, but when my dad was in a Zoom meeting for his job, with his team, and he had his speaker unmuted because he obviously had to speak, and my mom marched into there, leaned into the speaker and said, "Oh, this guy's getting divorced," in the middle of the meeting, and it was like this huge embarrassment for my dad. Like, this is what my mom has done. This is what my sister has done, stuff like that. I'm trying to keep this camera tilted up because I'm wearing an old company jacket from the company I used to work for. Not that it really not much matters, but it's all this sort of identifiable stuff, But anyways, so I don't know if I'm gonna get that call. If I'm gonna when I go back to my room, because I have class at 3. If I'm gonna get that call and it's gonna be like, okay, this is what happened, because there's 3 possible outcomes. My dad makes a full recovery, and things just go back to the same old until the next, blowout. Which, man, this has been the case with every time something like this has happened in this family. So there been the first possible scenario. Okay, they make a full recovery, everything goes back to same old, and we try to pretend like, oh, nothing happened, and things can just go on the same way. Or the second, which is that my dad ends up in a vegetative state and he's on life support, and I'm sure those two, they'd want to just pull the plug and let him go, because then they could, I don't know what, try and find somebody else to be disposable, disposable utility, or just try to milk his demise for attention. Or the third scenario, which would be the worst, and I really don't want to think about it, but if my dad didn't recover, not even to the point of vegetative state where he passed on, and I don't want to think about it. I don't. It's just it'll be too much for me to process right now, because it's like those kinds of people in your life who are those constants. They're always there, and you always can like, oh, I'll call so and so up, if something bad happens or if I have some problem or I just want to talk to someone or I want to crack a joke with someone. It's like, oh, I can just call him up and he'll be there and he'll take my call. And if I make some mistake or I'm flawed or I missed his call or whatever, he'll like forgive me and we'll just get on with the conversation, that sort of thing, and he'll understand. And to not have him around, and I'm at this point where I'm no longer, I'm no longer presently sad. I mean, if it gets that bad, yeah, I'm gonna be distraught. I'm gonna be broken up, and it's gonna be something that like I don't know how I'm gonna deal with it. But I'm at this point where I'm just angry. I'm angry because, like I said, time and again, I saw this stuff coming. I would get into yelling matches with them at times where I'd be like, this is what's going to happen if you do this to him. If you keep doing this, if you keep doing this, if you keep doing this. And them fighting back at me, making it all about, oh, their feelings and their ego and their, all that sort of stuff. And not going, okay, yeah, we need to change and actually freaking changing. It's always been about like just anything to avoid having to take accountability or ownership or feel bad because they did something screwed up. Always. Always, always, always. Just anything. Even if that just makes things worse. Gotta protect their feelings, gotta protect their ego. And just trying to do this run around blame game kind of garbage. And you know what? They'll accuse me of playing the blame game when I actually speak the truth. But no, that's speaking the truth. That's not just playing the blame game. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Best thing I can do right now is just go back to my room, get ready for class, and get through that, and then try to get as much of the stuff done because it's not going to be worth anything if I go screw everything up because of, the actions of somebody in my family not giving a crap about, what happened to my father, And, it's not even a matter of like, okay, what would my dad want me to do? Because, my dad would want me to drop everything and go there and be like the sacrificial lamb to save them all and run back home and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, of course, I'll be, torn apart and called a freeloader for not having a job or not having this or that, So they want these contradictory things. They think in that very feminine way of I want this, but I also want that, which are two diametrically opposed things, and the logistics of accomplishing those things at the same time are impossible. They don't know what's really important, what you really need to do to actually have a positive effect, how to actually solve these problems, especially when it comes down to the point being that you have to change yourself and stop making dumb decisions. They don't want to do that. So they just find somebody else to basically bear the brunt of all their dumb decisions. Take the consequences and deal with this. I don't want to deal with it. And that's what they do. So the best thing I can do is, head back to my room, get everything set up for my class, get as much, work done because I have an in-class assignment I need to get done, and then there's homework to do, which I've been procrastinating on mostly because of this stuff. I mean, it all started like last Sunday with that sleep deprivation from talking to my dad and finding out all the stuff that was going down and being worried about him, and now it's like, so the one person who understands and who cares can't have any effect because I'm not the one causing the problem. But of course they'll try to make it seem like it's my fault. But anyways, one other thing I wanted to mention. I know Dark Magician and others have left some comments. I can see them in notifications, but apparently I can't click on them and like actually look at them in the full text, so I can only read like about half of them. I'll try. I hope because it's weird. It won't show up as published or held for review. It just doesn't show up on the YouTube studio. But I'm going to be the black sheep of the family. I think I'm kind of responding to both kind of Alex's and Dark Magician's comments. But I know I'm going to be the black sheep of the family, and if things get really bad, go way worse than this. I mean, I know things for the way they are, and then I know that, when it comes to my sister talking to relatives, she'll paint herself as this utter victim, and me as this, like, selfish, narcissistic jerk who was never there for them, you know. And I'll probably be getting attacked by relatives calling me up on this phone number if my family doesn't turn around and cancel my, whatever, my access to, actual operating phone, which would screw things up with my work because we have to log in using an app on our phone. But if if it comes down to it, I will be that person. And I mean, I'm reminded of this time. I remember this time where I was sitting on the living room couch with my dad, and we're sitting there just, hanging out, father and son, watching a movie, and my sister storms in and starts yelling at my dad that he doesn't do anything for her. He's never done anything for her. He's failed as a father, that his responsibility as a father is to be there for her 24/7, 365, 150% of the time, and he's not doing that. And, he turned to me, and he kind of raised his hand, like, look at this, and he says something along the lines of, you see, I just can't win. Nothing's ever good enough for her. You see what I have to deal with? Or you hear what I have to deal with? This is how I get treated. If I brought that stuff up to my sister, which I probably should have by now, but I mean, it's always this kind of stuff where it's like they don't want to, all they want you there for is to make them feel good and to tell them everything's going to be A-okay even when it's not. They don't want the cold hard truth. They don't want to change. They don't want to, deal with the fact that maybe they are POSs who have screwed up other people's lives. People have a right to be angry at them and to dislike them and to, loathe them to the point of apathy, not want them to be a part of their lives, etc. They don't want to deal with that, but they'll make you deal with all the consequences and all the garbage and all the abuse, their actions. But anyways, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna try to handle things the best I can right now, and I guess I'll see if folks are on. I was gonna do a 4 month update video because it is day 120, and a couple odd things kind of happened, probably due to high levels of stress, but basically a couple nocturnal emissions. I think it's my body just trying to deal with the stress. 'Cause I haven't really kept track of how many days in between each night. I'm not really concerned with that right now. I'm just staying on this Nofap thing and doing my life, making my grind, occur, getting through the slog and dealing with all this kind of garbage. So, anyways, I'll see you folks around. Thanks for watching and thanks for the support. Bye. Hope my dad gets better.